top 25 highest grossing films of all time. Number 25. Transformers: Dark of the Moon, $1.123 billion. Released in 2011 and directed by Michael Bay, Transformers is based on the classic toy line. Dark of the Moon is the third installment in the series of Transformer films and is the sequel to 2009's Revenge of the Fallen. This film, however, was not co-produced by DreamWorks like the rest of the series and was only distributed by Paramount Pictures. Some of the film stars include Shia LaBeouf, Josh Duhamel, John Turturro, and Tyrese Gibson. Number 24. Captain Marvel, $1.128 billion. Released in 2019, Captain Marvel was written and directed by Ryan Fleck and Anna Gould, and produced by Marvel Studios. Brie Larson, Samuel L. Jackson, Ben Mendelsohn, and Jude Law are some of the actors that you'll find starring in this movie. Number 23. Spider-Man: Far From Home, $1.129 billion. Far From Home was co-produced by Columbia Pictures and Marvel Studios, and is the sequel to Spider-Man: Homecoming, released in 2017. It stars many great actors and actresses, including Tom Holland, Samuel L. Jackson, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Marisa Tomei. It was directed by John Watts and written by Eric Summers and Chris McKenna. Number 22. Aquaman, $1.148 billion. Released in 2018 and directed by James Wan, Aquaman is the sixth film in the DC Extended Universe, and for now, the highest-grossing DCEU film ever. It's distributed by Warner Bros. Pictures, and the fifth highest-grossing film of 2018. Number 21. Captain America: Civil War, $1.153 billion. Produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios, Civil War is the sequel to The Winter Soldier. Some of the film's cast include Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, and Anthony Mackie. The film received critical and commercial success and became the highest-grossing film of 2016. Number 20. Minions. Number 19. Iron Man 3, $1.215 billion. Iron Man 3 has received both an Academy Award and a BAFTA Award nomination. It's the third seventh film in Marvel's Cinematic Universe. The film's cast include Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Don Cheadle, Guy Pearce, and many more. Iron Man 3 was a huge box office success and was the second highest grossing film of 2013. Number 18. The Fate of the Furious, $1.236 billion. Also known as Fast and Furious 8, The Fate of the Furious released in 2017. The American action film, written by Chris Morgan and directed by Felix Gary Gray, is the 8th Fast and Furious film in the franchise. You can expect to find most of the normal cast in this one, like Vin Diesel, Dwayne Johnson, Jason Statham, Michelle Rodriguez, and Tyrese Gibson. It became the third highest grossing film of 2017. Number 17. Incredibles 2, $1.242 billion. Incredibles 2 is a computer-animated superhero film. It was written and directed by Brad Bird, produced by Pixar Animation Studios, and released by Walt Disney Pictures. The film first premiered in Los Angeles on June 15, 2018, and largely received positive reviews for its animation and humor. It was also nominated for Best Animated Feature Film at the 76th Golden Globe Awards and 91st Academy Awards. Number 16. Beauty and the Beast, 2017, $1.264 billion. The 2017 version of Beauty and the Beast is a musical romantic fantasy film directed by Bill Condon, based off a screenplay written by Stefan Chbosky and Evan Spiliotopoulos. Walt Disney Pictures and Mandeville Films co-produced this film and feature a cast that includes Emma Watson and Dan Stevens playing the lead characters. The film has become the highest grossing live-action musical film of all time. Number 15. Frozen, $1.276 billion. Arguably one of the most popular films and most recognized films of the past few years. It has won 2 Academy Awards, including Best Animated Feature. The film was produced by Walt Disney Animation Studios and released by Walt Disney Pictures. As well as all of the awards and nominations it received, Frozen was the highest grossing film of 2013. Number 14. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, $1.308 billion. Fallen Kingdom was released in 2018 and is an American science fiction adventure film. It's also the sequel to the Jurassic World and the second in the three-part planned trilogy of Jurassic World. It was the third highest grossing film of 2018 and marked the third Jurassic film to pass the $1 billion mark. Number 13. Star Wars: The Last Jedi. $1.333 billion. Released in 2017, The Last Jedi was written and directed by Rian Johnson, produced by Lucasfilms, and distributed by Walt Disney Studios. It follows the 2016 Force Awakens and is the second installment in the Star Wars trilogy. After its release, it gained several award nominations and became the highest-grossing film of 2017. Number 12. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 2. $1.342 billion. Deathly Hallows Part 2 was released in 2011 and is a fantasy film based on J.K. Rowling's 2007 novel. The film was directed by David Yates and distributed by Warner Bros. Pictures. It was written by Steve Kloves and produced by David Heyman, David Barron, and J.K. Rowling. The film was a massive commercial success and the highest-grossing film in the Harry Potter series. Number 11. Black Panther. $1.347 billion. Black Panther was released in 2018 and is about a Marvel comic book character of the same name. The film was produced by Marvel Studios, distributed by Walt Disney Studios, and was directed by Ryan Coogler. Black Panther received several industry nominations and was the first MCU film to win an Academy Award. If you're into this film, then you'll be pleased to know that the sequel for this film will be released in 2022, written and directed by Ryan Coogler again. Number 10. Avengers: Age of Ultron. $1.405 billion. Released in 2015, Age of Ultron was written by Joss Whedon, produced by Marvel Studios, and distributed by Walt Disney Studios. Some of the cast includes Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, Mark Ruffalo, Scarlett Johansson, and Jeremy Renner, and Don Cheadle. It's the second most expensive film ever made. Number 9. Furious 7. $1.516 billion. Released in 2015, Furious 7 stars Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, Dwayne Johnson, Michelle Rodriguez, Tyrese Gibson, Jordana Brewster, Kurt Russell, Chris Bridges, and Jason Statham. This film is the highest-grossing film of the Fast and Furious franchise. Number 8. The Avengers. $1.519 billion. An American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics and the sixth film to be released in the MCU. The film was written and directed by Joss Whedon, produced by Marvel Studios, and distributed by Walt Disney Studios. It is the first ever Marvel film to break the $1 billion mark in ticket sales. Number 7. The Lion King. $1.632 billion. The 2019 remake of the classic cartoon had star voiceovers such as Seth Rogen, Donald Glover, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Alfred Woodard, Billy Eichner, John Canny, John Oliver, and Beyonce Knowles Carter, and James Earl Jones. The film has already grossed over $1.632 billion and is the second highest grossing film of 2019. Number 6. Jurassic World. $1.672 billion. Jurassic World, an action dinosaur adventure film released in 2015, has a cast including Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, Vincent D'Onofrio, Ty Simpkins, Nick Robinson, Omar Sy, B.D. Wong, and Irfan Khan. The film became the second highest grossing film of 2015 and the highest grossing film in the Jurassic franchise. Number 5. Avengers: Infinity War. $2.48 billion. A film produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios. It is the sequel to the 2012 and 2015 Avengers film and features the Guardians of the Galaxy. Infinity War is the first superhero film to gross over $2 billion worldwide and became the highest grossing film of 2018. Number 4. Star Wars Episode 7: The Force Awakens. $2.68 billion. Written and directed by J.J. Abrams, this famous sci-fi franchise had a cast including Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Adam Driver, Daisy Ridley, and John Boyega. The Force Awakens became the highest-grossing installment in the franchise and the highest-grossing film of 2015. Number 3. Titanic. $2.187 billion. Released in 1997, this romance and disaster film was written, directed, co-produced, and co-edited by James Cameron. The film was co-financed by 20th Century Fox and Paramount Pictures, and had a production budget of over $200 million, which made it the most expensive film ever made at the time. It was the first film to reach the billion-dollar mark and became the highest-grossing film ever during that period of time. Number 2. Avatar, $2.79 billion. Released in 2009, this science fiction film was written, directed, and co-edited by James Cameron. Avatar's cast includes Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Stephen Lang, Michelle Rodriguez, and Sigourney Weaver. As well as becoming the highest-grossing film at the time it was released, Avatar also remained the highest-grossing film worldwide for almost a decade. Number 1. Avengers Endgame, $2.796 billion. Released in 2019, this superhero behemoth, based on the Marvel Comics and sequel to the 2018's Infinity War, has an impressive cast as well as numbers. This cast includes Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner, Bradley Cooper, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Josh Brolin. Thanks so much for watching.